So Ange Postecoglou could be sacked this weekend if he's not to win against Manchester United at home. It's now or never for Ange Postecoglou, in my opinion. I, to be honest, think that he could get sacked this weekend if he doesn't beat United at home. I think this is the straw that will possibly break the camel's back, because they've not done well at all for the majority of the season, and I just think they could have been way better for most of these games. I think they could have shown a bit of fight against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup. I think they could have shown a bit more strength and fight in the game against Villa. I watched some of the game. Villa just outclassed Spurs. I just think Spurs, obviously, they thought they could do better without Harry Kane, and it's just not gone to plan for them, has it? I mean, Harry Kane went to Bayern Munich 2 years ago. Bayern Munich are now top of the league, if I'm correct. Haven't looked at the Bundesliga table in a long time. But, yeah, Spurs aren't the team they used to be without Harry Kane. I can't see them getting a top 4 finish in the next 5 seasons. I can't see them doing that. I think there's bigger and better teams in the Premier League, if you ask me. I don't think the Spurs are good enough, really. They're not really that good. I mean, they're 14th. They've lost, that's 13 games. They've lost 13 games this season. That is just not good enough for a team that should probably be getting top 5, top 6. Not top 4, but top 5, top 6. And they're one place above Everton. Now, I don't think that, you could go, well, obvious Einstein, but I don't think they've done good enough at all this season. I just don't think they've got what it takes anymore to be a top 4 club. They're not going to get anywhere near top 6 this season. Possibly could get top 10. But this will probably be worse than Chelsea's 12th place finish a couple of years ago. I don't think that Tottenham are just that good anymore. I don't think they're that good. I think that they could do better in games, way better in games. They just lose it sometimes. They really do. I don't think Ange Postecoglou is a good enough manager, to be completely honest with you. You could say he's been criticised unfairly because of how many injuries they've had this season. Their injury list is longer than the amount of wins. It's higher than the amount of wins they've had this season. That's a crazy sentence. They've got 10 injuries. 10 injuries. Destiny Udogie, Solanke, Johnson, Romero, Vicario, Maddison, Dragusin, Richarlison, Werner, Odobert. Dragason's now out injured. They don't have any luck. I'm not touching any wood because I don't care. But imagine Matthijs de Ligt gets a hamstring injury. Imagine that this weekend. But it could possibly happen. It could. The team's just not what it used to be, is it? Like Antonin Kinski, when he first came in at the start, sort of midway through January, he was alright. He had a great first display against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But after that, I think the Spurs fans hyped him up a bit too much after his first game. And then he's declining already. He let 4 in against Liverpool. He let 2 in against Villa. He let 2 in against Leicester the other week. Yeah, it's just you see the team now. Kulusevski, Richarlison, Son. Which, if Kane was still at that club, Richarlison wouldn't be playing. It's just not what it used to be, is it? Archie Gray, Kevin Danso, Ben Davies, Jed Spence, Bissouma, Bentancur, Sarr, Dejan Kulusevski, Richarlison, Son, Antonin Kinski in goal. Yeah, that was their lineup against Liverpool when they played in the Carabao Cup. It's just it's just a shadow of its former self, that Spurs lineup. Like, that lineup used to be so good. Not so good, but it used to be good. You had Eric Dyer, Lamella, Kane, Lloris, Davinson Sanchez in that. Like, you had a lot of really good players in that side. And Kieran Trippier, it's just not good enough anymore. That lineup is just a shadow of its former self. But yeah, not good enough at all. Got a bit sidetracked there. I'm going to go on to Tottenham's recent form. The last sort of 5 games. Yeah, it's abominable. 2-1 against Villa in the FA Cup. That was Villa winning 2-1. They lost 4-0 to Liverpool in the Carabao Cup, potentially a game that they could have won. But yeah, they in that game against Liverpool, they didn't show enough ferocity or enough fight to win that game. They just sort of sat back and didn't really do anything. They beat Brentford 2-0 at probably the hardest ground to play at this season. Spurs are so inconsistent. They beat Elfsborg 3-0 in the Europa League. Doesn't really make a difference to anything, does it? They lost 2-1 to Leicester. We're just going to miss out the Europa League games. Lost 3-2 to Everton. And lost 2-1 to Arsenal in January. This is going all the way back to the 15th of January. But yeah, I think if Postecoglou wants to keep his place as a manager in this team, he's got to start getting the results. Because this could be, and probably will be, his final week. Might be his final weekend if he's to lose this game on Sunday. I think the problem is with this team, the players are inconsistent. The manager is out of his depth. The team is inconsistent. The results are inconsistent. There's just everything about this team just screams not even a mid-table finish. No, sorry. Everything about this team screams a mid-table finish. I think Tottenham will get mid-table, but just. Because I don't think they're good enough. They're not good enough to get top 6 this season. They're not going to get top 6. I don't think they're good enough to get even 8th position. So I think probably a 10th place finish will probably be fair. Or it could be, they could finish below 12th. We could see that this season. We could see them finish below 12th. And it wouldn't surprise me at all, because of how bad they've been this season. But yeah, you could say Ange Postecoglou has been unfairly criticised with the amount of injuries he's had. Obviously, with any team you look at in the Premier League, if they've got a number of injuries, it's hard to get results. The amount of injuries Tottenham have got, 10 injuries. That's crazy. No other team has got that many injuries or more in the Premier League. But do you feel sorry for him though? He's a Premier League manager, he's a professional football manager who's managing Tottenham Hotspur. Surely you can find a solution with injuries. Surely you can find a solution. I remember it was 2020 season. Liverpool had a lot of injuries. There was obviously players out with COVID a lot of the time. We still finished 5th though. So, there's not... Yes, you could say injuries, maybe that's an excuse, but in my eyes, you need to find a solution for that. They signed Kevin Danso and Matis Tell in the... I forgot Matis Tell played for Tottenham and he's been there for about 4 days. But they signed Kevin Danso and Matis Tell in the January transfer window. In my opinion, that doesn't really strengthen you. I mean, it just doesn't though, does it? I think Matis Tell did score the other day against Villa. But, yeah, it doesn't look good for Tottenham at all. I don't think they're going to get any higher than 10th this season. I think 10th is probably about right for Spurs if they can get to that. But Man United, they might not even go above Man United. And Man United are 13th, so this is literally it's not El Sakico, is it? No. If Tottenham lose this weekend, I think Ange Postecoglou gets sacked. But both teams need a win out of this game. Both teams need a win out of this game. Because if you look at the table at the minute, 13th Manchester United, they've got 29 points. They've lost 11 games, drawn 5 and won 8. Spurs, on the other hand, lost 13, drawn 3 and won 8. That's disgraceful. That's really disgraceful. Man United results, yeah, they've been better, but it's been nothing short of, I don't know what to say really, but yeah, United's results of recent haven't been great, have they? They recently beat Leicester by 1 goal in the Carabao Cup. There was, not Carabao Cup, FA Cup, there was a 1 goal difference. They lost to Palace, beat Steaua Bucharesti, beat Fulham, beat Rangers, lost 3-1 to Brighton, beat Southampton by the skin of the teeth, more or less. So, a bit better than what we've seen from Tottenham, but it's not much better, is it? Like, the team performance, like, the result doesn't reflect the team performance. The team performances from these games haven't been up to scratch. Like, the result doesn't reflect the team performance. And the team performances just haven't been up to scratch. I think both teams need to learn something from this season. They need to learn that they've got to sign more players. Tottenham, they're just destroying the club, Tottenham are. And I think a mid-table finish for Spurs is probably about right. And I don't think that is unfair. I don't think that is unfair. But you could maybe say that Ange Postecoglou has been maybe criticised a little bit unfairly with the amount of injuries. He's got 10 injuries. That's mad. No team, in my opinion, can really play very well with 10 injuries or more. But yeah, I think it's now or never for Ange Postecoglou this weekend. I don't think he's got any excuses. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Which means like, subscribe, turn post notifications on, and I'll see you in the next one. If Ange Postecoglou don't win this game, he's got to be sacked. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.